Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna talk about units. Which one we would like you to have in territory war, which ones are overall good units, and which ones are not really the units to use. So let's start. First, let's go into the melee infantry. For beginners, the pike militia is a must-have unit, a very good unit in all kinds of situations. They have good stats, good use. They are quite strong, quite numerous, low leadership, a very good veterancy bonus, veterancy tree line as well. They have good stats, and you can go a lot of ways. Preferably the mid one is most of the time the one to go to, but it's up to your choice which one to go. A really must-have unit inside your ranks, especially for beginners, but they are used in all times. Even I use them still. They're very good. In our ranks, we will use pikemen, halberdier sergeants, or imperial pike guards, or forte braccio pikemen. These are a must-have unit within our ranks, as they are part of our strategy in defending as well in offense. They are also good against cavalry, which is used almost always inside of territory war. They are a very good units. I would go for the Imperial Pike Guards compared to the two of them, as they will roll into the Iron Reapers. They have a good advance ability. Of course, the brace weapons, as all pike units have, but they are good in offensive and defensive. Halberdier sergeants as well, good unit. They have longer pikes than the pikemen, but they do not advance into a tier 5 unit, which in a way makes them a little bit worse, in my opinion, if you would like your first units to go that way. But they do have the charge ability, which the Imperial pikemen don't have. And overall, compared to the Imperial pikemen, also very good use of them, just they do not go into the Iron Reapers. Also, if you go into the Imperial Pike Guards, you will get the Prefecture Pikemen. This is a unit that is known to be killing heroes, as they have a good charge unit ability. They are also quite cheap, as they are just 3 levels, and they just advance into the Imperial Pike Guards. Do be aware that your charge ability does have a good cooldown, long cooldown, and they are just that useful only with the charge. But as well, they do have pikes, so in a way they're also good against cavalry. But we will be facing a lot of tier 5 cav, so Imperial Pike Guards or Halberdiers are the better ones. Then, of course, the Imperial Pike Guards into the Iron Reapers. Any tier 5 unit in the game is a good unit to use in territory war. Of course, others are still better in a lot of situations. Iron Reapers are a very good unit in siege battles, if offensive and defensive. Also in the offensive of field battles, they can be used, but we will be facing a lot of tier 5 cav, so they will get trampled, but they can stop a charge. They are also very tanky and have a lot of veterancy lines to go to. Most of the time you would go mid into bottom, but they are very good, very tanky. Do use their hammers all the time, don't go for the swords, as they are lesser. Then for the Iron Reapers, of course, you will go into the Palace Guards, and the Palace Guards as a tier 4 unit, as well a good charge unit to have and to use. But they are as well situational, and they are especially good in offensive with their charge. Then we come to a other must-have unit in your ranks. This is a unit that everybody should have in their ranks, and this is the Imperial Spear Guard. There are the beginners, the Spear Militia and Iron Cap Spearmen are good, but it's quite cheap to go into the Spear Guards. They are the tankiest units there is. They have their massive shields. They have their good formations, their shieldron, and of course their shield wall. Also in their veterancy line, you will go towards a healing within them if you go bottom one. Top one also good, as it just all around good in defense, and it will reduce their damage taken by 5. The other one will increase all types of defense by 20. Both are good. I am going for the bottom one. But this is a must-have unit in your ranks. Everybody should have them in their ranks. Then, don't go for the Javelineer Sergeants or Imperial Javelineers. While, yes, I do have them unlocked because I had them in the beginning. After a while, I do not use them in Territorial War. They are only good in defending a siege, so maybe I use them sometimes, but I barely use them in Territorial War. As well as they are focused on hero killing, and in Territorial War we do not want to kill heroes because we just want to weaken their units so they stay in the game with weak units. Otherwise, if they die, someone else can get in with top tier units. Then we shall go for the archer tree line. In a way, you can go for the Vessel Longbowmen or Imperial Archers. Both are good. Get just one in the beginning. I went for the Vessel Longbowmen because they will go into a tier 5 unit later on, and they have the superior range. But overall, the Imperial Archers are better than the Vessel Longbowmen, as they have much higher damage. They have higher damage, and their range is not that bad compared to the Vessel Longbowmen. So if you would go stronger, Imperial Archers, but I went for the Vessel Longbowmen to get the tier 5 unit if it comes later on. I will ignore the PVs for the moment, as they will be for the season as well, and I will talk about them later. A good unit to have as well for the beginning is Prefecture Archers. They are the best archers on level 3, except for maybe the Namkan Archers, that is equally good. The Incendiary Archers are only good for lower tier units because most high tier units will have the fireproof, so you won't affect them with your fire. Also, your fire is not continuously and only does have a cooldown. The only way that they are really effective are against Rattan, because Rattan Rangers or other Rattan have Rattan armor, and they are will get more damage from fire. Next on are the Musketeers. The Musketeers are not really a unit to immediately go for. They're not a bad unit. You can use them as well, very good in sieges, as well in fields. They are good to use. And as well, if you go for the top line, you can get into the tertiary arquebusiers, and they are very good against Iron Reapers. They can mow down Iron Reapers, even a charge that comes directly ahead of them. But you need to be aware of your surroundings, and positioning them with them is key. So maybe not the easiest unit to use. You can go for the Imperial Arquebusiers. They have higher damage, but their accuracy is less good. Is not so good. They will have a coming soon a tier 5 unit, but we do not know if it's good or not, so maybe not the best one to go for immediately. Then we will go towards the cavalry. Cavalry is in a lot of ways good. You can go the top 3 or middle 3. Don't go for the Iron Cap Bow Riders, they're not really that good. But toward the other ones, Yeoman, Prefecture Heavy Cavalry, and Dagger Axe Lancers are very good. They all have a charge, and if you don't have a tier 5 unit, then you can use them well. But of course, they will get smashed by tier 5 units. Onto the tier 5 Cavalry. Cataphract Lancers, in my opinion, are the worst ones, but I do not have that much experience with them. Not many people use them on the battlefield, but they are the tankiest unit of the 3. They are also the units, the horses with the most units, as they have 21 units. They can become unstoppable in their charging. They cannot be interrupted, and just their tree line is focused on a lot of defense. But their spears are not as big as the winged hussars. The winged hussars are what you could call the creme de la creme of the charges, as they have these huge war spears and they just run into everything. They are able to rush through a lot of pikemen. The only ones that are maybe able to really stop them are the Forte Basso pikemen, but as well they can still go through it, but with heavy losses. The Fire Lancers is one of the best tier 5 units, as they can be used in a lot of situations, charges, close combat. This is a very good unit as well to have, but not the ones you will see the most often, as they are quite expensive, as you have to go for the Prefecture Heavy Cavalry and Dragon Axe Lancers. Then into the chivalric units. These, all of them, are must-haves, especially the Spear Sergeants. The Spear Sergeants is the unit to rush into if you are starting the game. They are good from start to end. We still use them in the end game. They're very good units, very tanky, but also good in offense. They're just all around very good unit. They have very good tree line. If you go for the bottom one, this will be anti-cavalry focused, and the top one is all around tankiness. A very good unit to use, and especially a rushing unit, as they are cheap. You will get the main spearmen normally from the beginning, so easy to get the Spear Sergeants. Then into the Squires and Men-at-Arms. Squires are good to use, especially in the beginning, but the Men-at-Arms are a very tanky charge unit. They will get a heal later on into their veterancy line, and they will get a lot of tankiness into it. So a good charge unit. But the benefits of getting both, of course, is the Monastic Knights. The most tanky unit, the cavalry unit there is, with a good charge, but do have lesser numbers than most of them, especially compared to the Cataphract Lancers. They have just 16, as the Cataphract have 21. And yes, 5 units does give a difference sometimes. But they are the cheapest horse unit, even the cheapest tier 5 units to use. These ones are the ones you will see most onto the battlefield. They have very high defensive stats. They have a good long charge, heavy armor, fireproof, but they are quite sluggish for cavalry. But one of the first tier 5 units you can get easily. That's why you will see them a lot in battle. Now the Rattan Army. The only unit that really matters within the Rattan army is the Rattan Rangers. One of the most annoying units to play against, and units to have a lot of fun with if you have them yourself. These are used for hero killing, so they're very good in open world battles, field battles as well, siege battles as well if you can get them covered. So in all round good unit. Their unit killing is not the best, but later on, if you get the charge of them, they are good. They're in a good use, especially against ranged units. You will have to use the charge, but they're quite a harassing unit against other units. And they're good against other tier 5 cav, as you can run around them. They will not hit you, and you can start harassing them, and eventually you'll get the kills. For the elite, I recommend the top one, as it gets reduced range damage. The charge you won't use that often, so the cooldown with 9 seconds is not that important. Compared towards the ranged damage, as that is the biggest weakness with the Rattan Rangers, unless of course you get charged by a other cavalry unit. But so situational awareness is key with using them. So that's it for the normal 3 lines. So go for any tier 5 unit, that's good, but especially a pike unit is a must-have in your ranks. The Imperial Spear Guard is a must-have in your ranks, together with one of the archers, and of course the Spear Sergeant is a rush unit. Then let's go see what the mercenaries have to offer. Mercenaries will not be used in territory war, but they're good to quicken your leveling up of your units, as they give you the bonuses. You can only pay them with silver or sovereigns, and in my opinion there are only 2 ones that are worth it. That are the Black Dragon Archers, as they are the cheapest one and have just 100 leadership, and the Martellatori. They are one of the most expensive ones, but they are just 30 leadership, and they are very good for siege engines, as they give a shield towards it or a defensive stats. That in that way, they are the only way to use them in territory war is in siege battles to help your advancing your towers or your battering ram. For the rest, not really a effort to get the other ones are not really worth it. Maybe the Black Dragon Javelineers, as they do have a hero killing potential, but they are not used in territory war. And for the final, we will see about the unit challenges, the season units. They are all wonderful units. The Condottieri Guards are a massively good charge unit. They can even charge Monastic Knights. They will get heavy losses, but they can stop them. They have a shield bash, which is also a good mechanic. Then we have the Fortebraccio Pikemen, and in my opinion, one of the best pikemen there is. Maybe even the best pike unit there is. You can use them in offense, but they do not have a charge or advance ability. They have a brace weapons, and in that they are the best. They have the longest spears, and then they will do the most damage against cavalry, especially if you get the Fortebraccio Pikeman Doctrine, which gives you 150 armor penetration against cavalry. And then for the 2 final units, the Falconetti Gunners are a immensely good unit. They can take down siege towers. They can break down a shield wall. They are sluggish and easy to kill, so be careful with them. Positioning is key as well with them, so be careful, but they are very strong. Sad that you cannot get them in the unit tree line. And then the Pavis crossbowmen, they are as well a very good tier 5 unit, but situational. They are strongest if you have their shields on their back, but of course you can use them in shield formation. That makes them strong. They have baton bolts, which is very good against high tier units, and their veterancy has a lot of good stuff in it, especially their elite, which gives them a stunning chance or an easy block break. With these units, I advise to use team play, as if they get rushed, they will die. But as well a good unit. So that's it for all the units for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll be ready for the next territory war. We'll see you all next time. Hail Royal Turuls.